Good afternoon. Sue Smith sitting in for Aaron Rand, and time to take a look at the week in business. Amanda Lang is CTV News' chief financial correspondent, and she joins us on the line. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hi, Sue.
Let's start with, I guess, good news, and that's the jobs report in Canada. So jobs are up, unemployment is down.
Yeah, I mean, really unalloyed good news. We added 75,000 jobs in the month, and that did send our unemployment rate down. This is the job growth in July was split evenly between full and part-time work, and it was private sector job growth, which is what you want to see. Mm-hmm. And then, interestingly, to see, this doesn't sound like good news, but it is, which is that average hourly wages still grew year over year in July, but they decelerated, so they're only up 2.8%. Bad news for workers, maybe, but good news on the inflation front. So taken all together, it's actually really quite a strong report.
Okay, so fantastic for Canada. Not such great news in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The jobs numbers, not exactly what President Trump was hoping for.
Yeah, really interesting, too, to see the dichotomy between the two. It was an unexpected loss there of 23,000 jobs. Their unemployment rate actually also dipped because their participation rate fell. So it's kind of a worst-case scenario. And they're also seeing revisions, shaving more jobs off the payrolls, looking backward to May and June. And, you put this all together and you say, okay, well, what's happening here? Tariffs are happening. It's hard not to kind of draw a line between what's happening in the U.S. on the jobs front. Their inflation numbers, and you see it in their wage data, are still running uncomfortably high. So, their central bank can't really cut rates because they're so worried about inflation. Our central bank has the other problem, right? Our inflation is cooling and our economy is growing. So it's sort of really a tale of two different economies right now.
Which is kind of interesting when you look at the trade negotiations, because Canada does seem to be sort of in a panic. I mean, we all know that they want CUSMA to work out, but I mean, it's interesting that in the meantime, our economy is strong and theirs is stagnating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I would agree with the panic description in the sense that we've seen our leaders be pretty circumspect about responding to anything. We have the specter of these. Yeah. I mean, but I know what you mean. Like, we're all kind of feeling the uncertainty of it. Mm-hmm. I will say, with the 50% tariffs kind of looming over us, that's, they're supposed to kick in August 19th, that's still a real kind of threat. It feels to me like what we saw this week was real progress, that there are actionable items on the table. We know that our trade team met with their top people, Jameson Greer and others, and that they're actually talking very specifically about things. And the Prime Minister has been clear this week. He wants a broad-based deal. He doesn't want to, chip away at this. So to me, everybody's sort of finally focused on it, and maybe we'll get somewhere. It may be that we have to do things too that some people don't like. Yeah. We may give concessions on dairy, for instance, but if it gets us a deal, I think that that will be such good news for the economy.
It's so funny that they're holding those cards so close to their chest, because I mean, it seems like it seems that is a real sticking point, supply management, but that if they do give in to dairy, they're going to lose a swath of voters in Ontario and Quebec. I mean, Christine Frechette has said, no, supply management is not on the table. So, but it does seem to be really one of those things that maybe Canada has to let go.
It's a super sensitive one, but also there's more than one way to skin the cat. With apologies to cat lovers, we can protect our farmers, and we can protect the way we produce our dairy and open our markets. And that might be time that we sort of figured out how to do it. Maybe we call it something else, but so let's rebrand it if we need to. But if it's such a big sticking issue, we know we have to talk about it because they've made that clear.
And so on the trade, we've seen Dominic LeBlanc, going down there every day. You're right to say, I mean, panic was the wrong word. It's just that they seem to have been very invested. But you're right, because, Mark Carney has taken a really sort of like calmez-vous approach. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned actionable items, and I wonder, what you know about what is on the negotiating table.
There's some stuff kind of coming out. I mean, what we know is the things that we've talked about. So for sure, we might have to offer up the tariffs or whatever the quotas on dairy. We also know that we've been looking at, because we've said it ourselves, implementing some quotas on some exports of aluminum and steel. Right. Getting rid of those 232 tariffs that are still on steel and aluminum are top of the list for us. But we might actually find a way to negotiate a new kind of picture And so these are the kinds of things that are being discussed. The U.S. wants alcohol back on the shelves. That's an easy one. We can do that. Go get your California wine. Who's going to complain about that? But the bigger picture and harder ones might be around autos and what we do there, and what a longer term deal looks like, because we know that the U.S. wants changes, and so we need to find a path that works for both of us.
It's so interesting to think about what's happening domestically, though, in the U.S., and wondering if those inflation and job numbers might help push the needle at the negotiating table.
I mean, it certainly should create some pressure for this administration, right? And it will certainly create pressure as they head into their elections, right, in the fall. So it's the political aspect of this is always important. And yeah, I would say today getting great data. And don't forget, we got that really strong GDP report in Canada. Our economic news is looking pretty good, and theirs is not. And so it does give us a little bit of leverage, as long as it doesn't cause the notoriously thin-skinned president to get even more reactive.
Right. And we'll see what happens when that deadline for the 50% tariffs starts to loom a bit closer. But on all that and moving the needle seems to be going down a little bit at the gas pump. Is that likely to stay that way?
Your guess is as good as mine. We are definitely seeing fluctuations around kind of expectations of what may or may not happen with a deal with Iran. And so you do see, the global price of oil has been moving based on sort of what we think is happening, and will there be traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. This has gone on longer than most had hoped. And you do see this, if the oil price falls, you see kind of the immediate drop, because the gasoline prices will fall next week or the week after. So you see it come down at the pump immediately. So, it'll continue to be volatile, I think, for a while, but it's, I would not count on anything lasting until we actually see it in print, right? Because we've had so many head fakes on this.
Oh, yeah. It just goes up and down and up and down. All right. Well, super interesting. Amanda, thank you.
Great to talk.
You've heard the chaos. Now you can see it. Oh my God. Watch all your favorite podcasts from start to finish right inside the free iHeartRadio app.
Gets the blood going, huh?
Catch every laugh and eye roll on shows like the Tom Green Farmcast and Park the Bus. Now with full video.
We're building a ramp for Tony Hawk.
It's the same hosts and the same chemistry with all the hilarious moments you've been missing right on your screen. Cheers. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search video podcasts, and tap watch